Good day, I'm Carson Peregrino, and today I will present to you the programming exercise number 5 entitled Introduction to Numerical Analysis. So let's start. For the first objective, the look for command. So to find commands in connection with repeat or to obtain information about the for loop. For this command window, look for repeat or help for. So I already uh, executed this. So let's run. So for this look for repeat, a lot of functions has been presented here. For the first one, is the repellents, measure vector of measure vector, sorry, vector of repeated elements from X. So for next, the auto repeat debug command, where you set the internal variable that controls whether the debug commands are automatically repeated. For next is the repellent, construct an array of repeated elements from X with the instruction R sub 1. So repmat, repeat matrix or n to the array. So next, the help for command is basically the for loop. So we know that the for loop had been used uh, in our past projects for I is equal to range, and then for loop for I is equal to 10, and then n. Next is for the next activity is next task is the input or output of data for command. So let's open this. It is to sub A. As we can see here, ABC with vectors inside. So let's try to run this. Run selection, and then uh, here are the values A, B, C, and then columns 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3. Let's try to run this again. Run selection. So here we have A, B, C values of A, B, and C. For A, we have 2 by 3 matrix. For B, we have 3 by 1 matrix, and for C, we have only one row of matrix. So for 2A, save ABC stores the value of ABC into the file format abc.mat. So let's try to run the selection. So as we can see, save ABC, or let's try to run this again. Run and selection. So as we can see, we will have this file ABC, and its property is ABC. So for what is the value of A, uh, what is the value of A, we can run this, run and selection. As we can see, it has been presented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or basically this vector. And then clear AC, it means clear the memory of octave about A and C. So run this selection. As we can see here in our workspace, A and C has been removed because of this command. And then load AC with the values of AC from the file ABC. So it will be presented. One selection here. As you can see, ABC as bumalik ulit or nag-return sa kanyang workspace. And then for A, the value of A will be presented again. Selection A, as you can see here. And then next is save b front slash ASCII. So store the data into an ASCII dot file. So it can be used in other programming languages. So this helps for being flexible in other programming languages. So it's run selection. As you can see, it means that it has already been saved. So as you can see here, b dot dot. So you can see that it is a dot file already, and it can be used in other programming languages. So minimize, then load b dot dot with the values, and then run the selection. Load b dot dot. As you can see, it has been already loaded. So for next part is the 2B. I just open the file 2B. And then for 2B, input or output of data using keyboard. Let's run this file. Run in selection. You can enter any number, but based on the manual, it said 1/3. Basically, it presents 1/3. But for the manual, it commands us as a rational number format rat. So let's remove this format rat comment and then run this selection. Oops, I forgot to save. Let's run this again. 1/3. Let's run this again. Maybe it's a bug. Selection 1/3. So as we can see, a rational number, uh, it has an output of a rational number. Next is the format long, which is a decimal number with 14 digits. Um, Control S, and then let's run. On selection, until again, as we can see, a long 14-digit decimal numbers is presented here. So next is format long T. As an it is a long exponential form, an exponential symbol is will be displayed here in the output. So let's run it. Run and selection. Oops, I forgot to select it. Run and selection. One first. Bug is up again. Selection. You can see a value of a lot of decimal numbers and then an exponential value is displayed. So the next value is the next command is the format hex, which means here as a hexadecimal format stored in memory. Oops. S and then let's run. You can see here a value of F, meaning hexadecimal form. It is a value of when the decimal is greater than 10, there will be a dedicated letter for the specified value of number of decimals. So for this F, it means greater than 10, and then that's it. And then for the short E, for S, then it's run, selection 1/2. So you can see a short exponential form is displayed. And the next is the format short or the format decimal, a short decimal. This rule, then one, selection. I forgot to save. Selection one. Bug has happened again. Selection. You see a short decimal has been displayed here. So for the next task, for the last task for this part is display the value of x. It just says that there will be an output string value or words to specify that the value is either of this format, rat, long e, hex. So let's try to run this for short format short. Control S and then run introduction. Say 1/3 again. So as we can see here, format short is 0.333 and then the value of x, a string has been displayed. The value of x, oops, uh, the value of x equal to 0.33. So this is the string and then this is the command for display or the output value. And then next is the type specifiers and special characters. I already read it. So There are a lot of special characters using for printing out, output print in for such characters such as character type, string, decimal, backslash n for character type, string type for backslash t, then backslash d, decimal integer, floating point number, and so on. So let's proceed to the next activity to the following program below. I'll just open the file, open, do the following program here. This nine. For this, do the following program below. F is equal to input the temperature in Fahrenheit. So for this activity, converts the Fahrenheit into centigrade. And then an output string will be uh, displayed here in the command window. So let's run, save file. So it says input temperature in Fahrenheit. So let's say 0.5. So 45 point 00 in Fahrenheit is equal to 7.22 in centigrade, which is correct. So the answer is yes. Answer will be stored in the answer yes will be stored in the variable ans. The code. Okay. So the next part, now write a code that calculates a formula below given its. So my sheet number is 41. So therefore my formula is the Heron's formula. So let's open the file. Sheet number is 41. Suppose this, and then from the internet, I searched the Heron's formula, and then I coded it in the active. So to run it, run the file. So there are three sides, A, B, C, and then for the value of S in the formula of the Heron's formula, it means the semi-perimeter. So the formula for semi-perimeter is A plus B plus C all over 2. So let's try to run it. Let's say 5. Oops. 5, 4, and then 2. So the answer is 6 based from the uh, formula and based from the Heron's formula calculator in the internet and here in the Octave code, the answer is both correct. Therefore, this code is correct. So for the formula of Heron's code is square root of S times quantity S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. So upprint output has been displayed here. As you can see, the answer is 6 for the user to be for the user to understand more about the code. So next activity is the part 3, 2D graphic out input out. So let's open the 2D here F9. For this activity, store the data reflecting. So first I store this data or this matrix the variable temp. So store the data reflecting the highest or lowest temperatures. So here for 5 days are stored as a 5 by 2 array in an ASCII file uh, named temp dot dot. So let's run this. Let's try to run this. Selection. Oops. Run. Run. Selection. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 32, 35, 37, and then I'll just remove this format rats. And then uh, it says that it must be saved in a file name tent.dat. So let's try to run this. Run selection. Yes. Run selection. So the file has been already saved for file tent.dat here. and then it says load data. So let's try to load it. One section. So it has been already loaded here. And then next is the plotting of the values. So CLF plot and then temperature, and then title ISO's temperature of these days, and then Y label and X label has been plotted. So should run selection. So as you can see, a plot here with the degrees with 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here are the uh, temperatures 30, then 33, so on from these values. Here's the temperature 32, 35, 33, 35, 36. Here is the plot. So plot the data of 5 by 2. So here's the it's already done. So now do the following codes and explain. So as you can see, days is equal to 11, 12, 14, 16, 17. For figure 1, let's try to run this. Run and selection. So as we can see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 has been replaced from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And then same values from the uh, previous temperature since based on the manual it doesn't give the temperature, so it will basically overwritten here in this command. So here's the plot, and then for the number two, for the part two of the 2D graphic input output, axis 10, 20, 30, 20, 0, 30, grid on figure 2 plot on the days step. For, for the meaning of this, axis will be equal from 10 to 20 and then 0 to 30. 10 to 20 on X and 0 to 30 on Y, and then the grid on will be uh, for it will be easier for the user to understand more or understand clearly the data. So let's try to run this and selection run. So you can see here uh, let's try to run them. Run. So you can see here 10, 20, 30. 0, it says 10 to 20 axis, 10 to 20 x-axis, and then 0 is the point of origin, and then 0 to 30 for the values. And then since the axis is has a limit of 30, therefore the values of temperatures will not be seen because the values of the temperature is greater than 30. Therefore, an x-axis and days only will only be seen here. So next is the figure 3, axis equal, meaning there will be an equal axis on both sides. Let's try to run this. Run and selection. So you can see both it displays both it displays equal values of x and y axis from y and x. So for this figure, hold on, figure 4, plot days. So on this, check on this and selections. You can see earlier we saw that there is only a line graph, but now uh, a lot of symbols and designs has been plugged in. So for the temperature, a circle symbol has been plugged in, and then while for the days, asterisk has been placed. So for the code, uh, for B asterisk, it will be the asterisk, blue asterisk, and then red circles or the red dots for the And then hold on, meaning instead of hold on retain plot, data and settings, line color and line style are advanced for each new plot element. So for hold off restores default graphic settings. So meaning it will uh, default settings to black and white. So let's try to do this. Run selection. As we can see, a black and white, black or default settings has been displayed here. So, so the plotted bodies here, the temperature, and then temperature, that's 2 versus temperature 1 in black X. So 35, 32, 35, 33, 37, 36 values. So for next is the uh, here, then or the here, uh, 6 1 selection. Here, as we can see, a clear figure of temperature by using lines. So 32, 35, 33, 37, 36. Earlier, we just used the default settings of plus here. So next is we can also use the plot command to draw a circle. So draw a circle uh, by this uh, by this formula. Let's try to run this plot or run selection. As we can see, a circle graph has been displayed here. 0, 1, 2, and then note that the plot command with the sequence of complex number as its first input argument plots the real or imaginary parts along the axis. So the polar command plots the phase gradients of or the magnitude given its first second input argument respectively. And by this code, you can see the result. Run and selection. So as we can see, a gradient or the magnitude given the first second input argument here. So we can also rotate it like this and like this. Okay. So next is the several other plotting commands such as semilogs, etc. Maybe use the raw various graphs. So let's open the file. Open. So several here, part 3. So here several plot several types of graphs. So F9 for so here. So here we can see for figure 1, subplot 2 to 1, a polar, or here, same figure earlier, and then semilogs, 9, here. It can be used for complex mathematical equations, polar, semilog E, and log F9. As you can see, a diagonal line is presented, and then subplot here, F9. Here is the result. Then try to run, all. Enter. For the subplot 2 to 1 stairs, for it can be uh, helpful for users to understand more about graphs, especially in this software. So a stem has been displayed stem-like structure. So a bar graph, then bar horizontal, and then post, and then lastly, here is the last part of the part subplot 2 to 1 histogram. Hist- So here are the values. And then for 3D graphic output, let's open it. And part 4, 3D here. Octave has several 3D graphic plotting commands such as plot tree, mesh, etc. Uh, Readers are recommended to use the help command. So last time I read these functions, and it helps me figure out more about mathematical equations. So for t is equal to 0 pi, 0 times pi, 56 times pi. So it means that dividing the screen into three sections, side plot. So here, okay, let's try to run it. Run. As you can see in the first figure, uh, right? Okay, subplot 2 to 1, plot 3 with on helix. So this is the graph. Yeah, it can be useful. So next is the subplot 222 001 means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, and z view or the z axis. And then same values, subplot 223 1 x negative 3 1 with the positioning of the axis, and then 0 negative 3 0. Next, enter. So this is my most favorite part of the laboratory because it's graph or the view. So mesh grid subplot 221 XYZ with on. So azimuth. So I search for the meaning of azimuth. Azimuth or the elevation. The azimuth is the angle between north measured clockwise around the observer's horizon and the celestial body sun. And so this is an awesome knowledge to be nourished. So next is the subplot 222 XYZ. Usually we will go on. Next graph is the here. You can see full of circles. So subplot 223 a contour XYZ and subplot 224 contour XYZ 5.5 to 4.5. So that's it for the values. And then part 5, mathematical functions. Last mathematical function special. Reserve constant variable defined in octave condition table 1.3. So I already read this, table 1.3. And then Octave also allows to define our own function and store in file name after the function so that it can be used as if it were a built-in function. So a lot of functions can be useful in other projects. So it can ease the burden of in programming. So for this uh, function, it says that vector value function f as follows: function y is 49. Once we store this function into file in f1.m and f.49, I'll just open the files f1m. So we can see for the f1m, I save it as a function, and then for f49 here, then I'll open uh, the command window. So here, next is I'll open the ones part. This is part 5. Uh, values values be will be displayed here. Here are the values for the F1, F49, and P value. And this P value is a great function that will be used in other programming languages. So next is as you can see here, the F1 function is stored here in the file of the part5 ones.m. So next is the square polynomial function, or oops, next is the note here, note, and now, okay, F1 is equal to inline, so values of file F1 and then F49 will be stored here. So let's write run, save file, and run. So here are the values, and then next is uh, as far as function is concerned, we will simplify define as coefficient vector arranged in descending order, equal to yields values for certain values of its independent variable using command polyval. So polynomial function is p of x cubed minus 2x plus 2. So this can be helpful for quadratic or more equations. And I can run this as for run. So you can see 1, 0, negative 3, 2, 0, 1. The coefficient of x cubed is 1, then there is no x squared, so negative 3 plus 2. So the polyvalue or the p of 0, 1 is basically 2 and 0. And then I also read this last time, and it gave me a lot of knowledge and a lot of techniques to solve programming problems. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.